junction block.
Junction block. Yep. The control block with all the
not the brain side, but the muscle side.
Yeah. And that was a lot of fun. Not
a lot of bleeding.
A lot of bleeding. A lot of leakage we found that we got straightened out. Had to use a
job done like 16 fucking times.
And the we used the bore gauge. Borescope, yeah, to find the final leak.
Yep.
Let me see. But I have my garage back or the little garage back. Got some more lumber and got some more insulation last weekend for the shop. Got that. We'll talk about that.
Truck finally died.
Yeah,
truck finally died. The damn ugly death.
Well, not really. It's
not really ugly death.
It's just leaking like a sieve. So we're gonna have to like pull his engine out and regasket everything.
Yeah, we're gonna have to seal everything off. Which I want to check everything. And he's like,
okay,
don't tear into the rotating assembly.
Okay. Now, it doesn't smoke. It doesn't burn oil. It runs perfectly. It just leaks like a sieve because all the gaskets are. It's a 2002 model, right?
Yeah, with 305,000
miles on it. Okay, but it still purrs like a kitten, and it doesn't smoke. It's never left him stranded. It's been took care of its whole life. To me, just for the money, I would say just pull it out, put a new oil pump in it, and put a gasket set in it, and be done.
Oh, for the money, but an oil pump is $200 for that. Yeah, and the gasket set's $300.
Okay, so you're fine.
You're creeping up to $1,000 here.
How does 500 go to 1,000?
Because I still got to buy head bolts. That $300 is just the gasket. That is not head bolts. That's not if I find anything broke. That's none of that. Anyways, this is the kind of stuff we're going to talk about tonight. But first, we're going to talk about the giveaway. We're still going to do this second week of next month, so we're 3 weeks out from the digital torque wrench. I got a couple of guys. I had somebody buy one, but if you're in for the, I need your email to my email address for verification of the purchase, because like I said, the t-shirt company does not give me y'all's personal information. So if you make a purchase and you want to try to win this, you got to send me a screenshot to my email address of the purchase. Okay. Yeah. And it works. We're not putting batteries in today. I'm not. Cause I said I'm not. Oh, okay. Anyway. Jesus. You ever listen to me?
So we have a few questions already.
Okay. Hit us.
Robert says, any kind of question?
Yeah. Yes.
I just responded in the chat. Yes, any kind of car related question. But honestly, they will answer any questions.
Okay.
I'll answer anything.
We're not. We don't talk politics on this channel.
That's true.
I was gonna say whether or not YouTube allows me to answer it is the other one.
Yeah, and we're still we're G-rated or
family
or PG.
Anyway, Exit says 2014 Kia Sorento driver's side door. When you unlock the door, the other three are supposed to unlock, but they don't. Any suggestions? I hear the actuators, but they don't full unlock/lock.
That's yours.
14 Kia Sorento. Are you talking about the outside button, hitting the outside button, and you hear everything unlock, but nothing unlocks?
Okay, so it says driver's side door. When you unlock the door, the other three are supposed to unlock, but they don't. He can hear the actuators, but they don't fully unlock or lock.
Same thing happens in my Silverado, my 09 Silverado, is that I have to use the key fob. Mine's backwards. Because I've been the only one driving it for ever now, for 17 years, is that the buttons, if you're doing it from the buttons, well, no, it'd be completely opposite what you need. Because mine is, I have to do the key fob to unlock all the other doors, but mine, it'll only do the driver's side on the inside panel. The unlockers on the inside panel won't unlock the doors on the inside.
I have to use key fob even inside the truck.
It's because your door lock actuator's gone out.
Okay.
Exit says yes, unlock with key or from switch inside.
So the fob will unlock it, but unlocking it with a key, you have to unlock it. Okay. So
Sounds like the same problem.
well, no, because if you can hear the actuators going off, that means you're sticking. Find you some WD-40 or some PB Blaster and spray it. There's a can. So if you pull the panel off, you'll see the actuator. You don't even have to do that. Where the hinge is, like you got your catcher and it locks it on. In there, you can see inside. Can't really see, but you can get into the mechanisms in there. Spray not a lot, but enough WD-40 to where it foams up and rolls down the door. Wipe off the excess. It should help. Cycle it a few times and allow the lubricant to get in there. But I've had to do that several times. And if that doesn't fix it, that just means your actuators themselves are getting weak and they're going out.
Or they're just old and haven't been used much.
Yeah.
And then Baller says, first question. Have you ever seen or heard of using a 1981 to 87 hood and cowl to replace the hood build with cowl on a 1973 to 79 square body? Is this a possibility?
Nope.
It's a stretch, I know.
Nope, it's not. You have to change the radiator support. The radiator supports are different starting at 80 to 87. 73 to 79, they have a specific radiator support, which they won't interchange. That change, they won't interchange on the fenders, and the hoods don't interchange. You're stuck 73 to 79, 80 to 87. You're stuck. They won't interchange. Frames are the same, but they started messing with the bodies in 80. They made them lighter, and they made them, flat nosed and set, dual quad headlights, the whole 9 yards. But none of the interchange. You're stuck in those two ranges. They don't mix. Even the doors don't line up right. I've got a newer style door on Bamalam, and on the top ridge, it doesn't quite mesh. It's a little bit off, but I don't care because I love the truck. But that's what I had. It's the best door that I had, and so it was from like an 84, but it's it's an 80 frame, and it's kind of a hodgepodge. But when the front clip, you got to stick with what you got. They won't interchange.
Good question though.
Yeah. Beds are the same. Cabs are pretty much the same, but the doors and the fenders and the hoods change from 80. Yep. Any other questions?
Waller says, of course, thank you. Thought I'd throw out folding hoods are irritating.
Yeah, very much so. But they make all the companies now carry those, the channels that you can put in and zip them in with self-tappers, and it'll keep it from doing that. But the trick to those is a ton of WD-40, and you're pushing instead of pulling. You're pushing towards the windshield screen. That's what makes it come down instead of grabbing it from the engine, pulling it like that. Because they're all 50 years old, and, if you really got to work them hard and keep them lubricated. I even Bamaland's been together for about a year now, and I had the WD-40, the hinges on it, and it's got an 82 front clip on it, and even the new style, it was starting to bind a little bit. It kind of scared me, so I juiced the heck out of it today, and it's worked it up and down a couple times, and she's right as rain again. But I could feel it dragging, and if anybody that has a square body, you're worried about bending that hood. Can't put a kink in the middle of it. But I've seen a lot of good body men back in the day fix those. I've seen them in a wreck be like this, and they got them back right again, and you couldn't tell. But they also this is even back in the 90s or in the 80s, they put the extra supports on both sides of them with that piece of channel to fix the bill. They've been doing that since they come out. It was a problem even way back in the day.
You probably do that with some countersunk solid rivets too.
Yep.
They did all kinds of ways, but it's just that it's a channel with one of the edges cut down to about that tall that fits right inside the frame of that hood, and you zip a couple 4 bolts in it to it or whatever, and it makes it where it strengthens it. Because you've seen them hoods. I had 1 or 2 of them here that they were just like, yep, taco shells.
Yep, I think.
Okay, this is a discussion we had at dinner tonight. Okay, he wants to build an engine for his truck, an LS. All right, and but he wants to pick one up.
No, okay. So this is where my mind went. And I don't know where you're getting this translation from, but that is not what I'm saying. So, okay, so my motor's got to come out. And we got to regasket it, right? And I'm like, I got a few things broken on my intake. I got some things here and there that I'm like, I want to do, right? And it's like the motor's going to be out. When in Rome, do it. But I have to also remember that I'm down a vehicle now. So we only have 1 vehicle for my household. 1 working vehicle.
With 2 boys.
With 2 boys. So she's dropping me off at work and then picking me up at work. So the sooner that I can get my truck up, or the sooner I can get a vehicle, the sooner that she doesn't have to drive 45 minutes, an hour and a half, twice a day. So it's one of those. It's got 305,000 miles. I know Dave took care of it. I get that. I understand that.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I get that. I get where you're coming from, but my thing is that there are things that I want to do to that truck that this is the perfect opportunity to do it. And I kind of don't want to pass it up.
See, and my idea is let's go to the pick apart and get him a spare engine. Get him a 5.3 out of something or a 6.0 out of something. And do it before he has to tear it apart and have it ready. Pick one out, put one in. It saves time, saves aggravation. You're not having, all of us old farts lived the days back when you had 2 days to get things done because you had to go to work after the weekend or whatever, Having a spare engine, which I'm living that life right now, having a spare engine on a stand ready to go just in case something happens, that's just my idea. My idea is because apparently the cores from his dealership are through the roof because he, I don't get it. The only other better thing would be to buy a long block already built with a warranty on it, but you don't have that kind of scratch.
Well, that's the thing. It's either I can do $1,000 and regasket it, have to pull all the motor or whatever, or just buy a long block.
You can't get a long block for $1,000.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Or you can get a $300 to $500, $200,000 engine, and you put the gaskets in and have it sitting on the crate, ready to go. All you got to do is pluck one, put one in.
But then waste money on oil while I'm driving my truck.
You're not driving it anyways.
See what I'm saying?
No, I don't. I'm not understanding your logic.
My logic is that pull the motor, regasket everything, do what I want to do, and put it back in.
In what time frame?
There is no time frame. Do it right first time.
Okay.
Or I just keep buying cheap oil, drive my truck to and from work, buy a freaking junkyard motor, build it, and then whenever we get a weekend or a long weekend, extended weekend, pluck, put it in. But I get to build that second motor how I want to build it.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, because you got to pull it in, you got to, And you got to take time to get it out, time to get it all apart, find your parts, buy your parts, do your things. Why not just go ahead and have it all done before the truck comes apart and just and ding, 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 you know, and you all hands on deck, and me and you will get in it elbow deep and we'll get it done. We'll get it in, we'll get it out. Or get it out, get it in.
I was telling her, it's like, we can just take it to work and just pull the cab off for 2. Make it 10 times easier.
At what? Your hour in the evenings or hour at lunch and a couple hours on Saturday? Instead of having the whole weekend and having it here and doing it?
Okay, let's table that talk
Okay.
because you're talking in circles. Baller says, Kenny, question number 2. Haha. Kia Sorento 2020 or 2016. Is there a common problem with indicator blinker lights? I have a rear blinker on the driver's side that cuts in and out over different weeks, comes and goes.
I might have an answer for this. Does it
Why?
change with weather? Hot and cold, warm and cold, does it change? If it does, then you got corrosion in the ground. If you're losing the ground or you're losing the connection.
It's the resistance. The resistance in the wire. Heat affects resistance.
Yep.
And then Ben says, any thoughts on Dove manufacturer? I just got some roller rockers from Summit on clearance. Seems like Summit dropped carrying them. I like that they are USA made, but they seem huge and heavy.
I just got a set for the big block. I just got a whole upper assembly for a big block, and they're heavy. I would prefer heavy because, okay, you're driving it, so you don't want the lightest pieces possible. They're not designed for longevity. They're designed for quick burst, you know, and on the trailer and 3 or 4 runs for a year or 2, and then they implode. Okay, when it comes to roller rockers, you want them beefy. You know, and Competition Engineering used to make the best on the market, and that's what those are that I just scored this weekend. So yeah, preferably the heavier the better when it comes to roller rockers, because you're taking the friction away anyways. You know, I mean, on the top end, when it comes to weight, it's friction on the top end. It's weight in a rotating assembly, but friction on the valve train. So yeah, the heavier duty the better. We're good to go, because the lighter you go, just to save weight, cuts down on longevity.
Baller, to answer your question about the turn signal, there isn't anything that I've seen there's a TSB out or like a consistent issue. But what I would do is I would do what's called a wiggle test. So pull the assembly out, leave it hooked up wire-wise, and then turn the turn signal on, and then grab on the backside of the connector and just give it a wiggle. Wiggle all the wires, see if it's I have noticed that a bunch of the pins, so like on the connector you have your prongs that like you can de-pin and slide out and slide in, lock them in, and I have noticed that the pinning technology that Kia has is very
Questionable.
subpar.
But that'll also give you.
I have found several cars come in for a wiring issue, be it blinker not working, or they've got this out or that out, or this isn't working or that isn't working, and I go to the connector and I just give a tug test on all the wires, and one of the wires just whoop, out it comes. So I have to re-stab it, reconnect it, and it works just fine. So
Yeah, because it's 11 years old now, and it's a lot of hot, a lot of cold. Yeah, I know, even on the new stuff.
I'm finding that I found that on a 2027 Telluride.
Yeah.
So I found one that way, but I mean, and nobody's perfect. We're all humans. We all make mistakes. But it's our job to catch them. So I mean, just that's where I would start. Is just do a wiggle test.
I do the same stuff on the old stuff. Yeah. You're looking for corrosion and moisture and grounds not connected, or even just broken wires.
If you don't have a can of everybody, okay, so like everybody has like their thing that they do as far as like electrical connections and like connectors and stuff. Everybody says to buy like electrical cleaner or whatever. Don't do that. Just buy you a can of brake cleaner. It's the same freaking thing. Just buy you a can of brake cleaner, disconnect it, spray it in there, look at it, make sure there's no corrosion. If there's no corrosion, blow it out with air, plug it back in.
I'll tell you that works. We had to do that on Mom's car because we got it clicked in for the sensor array for the ABS, and he wouldn't put the top down. It wasn't even reading it, and it was fully clicked in. Pulled it up, brake clean, air blower, clicked it back in, started firing. I mean, it works.
Yep. So that's my thing is I don't waste money on specific cleaner. A cleaner is a cleaner, and brake cleaner is the best cleaner you'll ever get.
Agreed.
Taylor Gang 8424 said, glad to catch the live. Good evening, y'all.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And Baller says, thank you, Kenny. Will do. Hate to hit you with work questions. I'll check out and let you know.
It doesn't bother me to like most people. It's not even Kia questions; it's just working on cars questions. So, this live is if you want to really be defining, this whole live is work conversations. So,
yeah, but he looks forward to this all week, and so do I. I mean, on top of everything else, I mean, just working on my own stuff and doing things. But this Tuesday night we look forward to it all week.
I like being able to pass around knowledge and get knowledge.
Because you can't talk about it with me because I don't understand it.
It's like talking a third language.
It's like talking to his mama about it.
I'm getting better.
She is
at some of it, but other stuff I'm like,
She didn't know that you could take a cab off of a truck and just work on it like that.
It's not that I didn't know that, but I've seen you drop the engine and then just pull the rest of the truck. Is what I thought you were talking about.
No. Oh yeah. No, she's seen me pull a Kia motor out where you take the whole front subassembly down and it's motor, tranny, front subframe, control arms, and all that.
Yeah, they've changed back 30 years ago. Everything went in from the top or went on a frame, and then all the pieces went on top of the frame. Now everything gets shoved up from underneath, and it just comes out that way.
That's what I say. Like most people crap on Kia manufacturing and design and everything. And they made them pretty easy to work on. They made them pretty freaking easy.
Baller says he's got to agree with you on the brake cleaner. And Tim's 72 Demon says he's going to sit back and listen this week because he's getting the flu.
Oh, well,
that sucks.
I hate that for you, but you can keep that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the flu, after COVID, the flu is nothing like it used to be. It's serious now. Yeah, it ain't nothing to scoff at.
That's all COVID was. It was just a super flu.
I know, but now it's made the regular everyday flu even worse. It really is. It's but get well soon. Get well soon. Oh, while we're sitting here thinking about it, don't forget if you need with this
this live is sponsored by P&A Engine Works.
The Van Buren, Arkansas.
I
don't know if Santana's watching today, but I guess I'm going to call her tomorrow. So we're supposed to do some filming Thursday.
Not you. Sorry, I'm snapping at Roscoe.
Oh, is he making noise again?
No, he's just chewing on his leg like it's a ham bone.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, but she just doesn't like it when dogs make noise.
They're not supposed to do that.
Roscoe, hey, cut it out.
MP.
Anyways, and don't forget, if you guys are going to buy anything from Summit, we have that super link down below. Check that out. And
I'm about to use
like I said,
and abuse the piss out of
if you want to support the channel, every t-shirt sale supports the channel. So, you guys can buy some merch, buy a hat, buy a t-shirt, buy a sticker, buy something.
And every purchase that you make will get you in the drawing for the digital torque wrench, and we are shipping it to North America except for Mexico.
Yeah, well, nothing's going to Mexico right now.
Two thirds of North America.
Roscoe.
Roscoe, you're gonna knock over the
All right.
camera.
I think Mexico's
Go lay
considered
down.
south.
Roscoe,
No?
go. All right. Anyways, go lay down. Go lay down.
Taylor Gang says, what type of wheels and tires do y'all prefer on a square body?
8-inch rallies. 8-inch, 15-inch rallies. That's what's on Bamalam right now.
8x15s.
Yep.
So okay, Dad has always been the 15x7, 15x8 guy. I've kind of come to love the 15s, but I'm more of a 15x7s, and I'm more of a steely guy, like a
Like a wagon wheel?
kind of like the big old school hold out steelies.
Oh, okay. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Classic.
No, mods.
Chrome
mods.
but not chrome, but yeah.
Yes, black mods.
Black mods. Yeah.
Because he's a 4-wheel drive guy.
Well, I'm not a chrome guy. I hate chrome. And it's not because chrome doesn't look good. Chrome looks good on like certain applications. But for me, I've always been the two-tone guy. And I always liked how semi-flat black made a gloss color look so much better.
Yeah.
It makes a gloss color pop.
Yeah.
So that's why we painted my bumper black and my front fascia black, and it just makes that red just stick out. So I've never been, and plus, like if you go like a 15x7 or a 16x9, most of the time your tires are a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, 15-inch tires are more expensive than the tires for my 17 inches on my 09.
No.
They're more expensive.
No.
Yeah, now because they don't make as many of them,
No.
They don't sell as many of them. Here comes.
I
Yep, sinuses.
don't know.
If I had like an unlimited budget to like pick my wheels though, like a wheel brand, I would go Method wheels. I saw a set of all semi-black Method wheels that I was like, ooh, those look good. But they were 17x9s, and I was like, ooh, no.
Now, back in the day when I was drag racing, I was center line all the way. Center line warriors, center line, all whatever it was. I mean,
Yeah.
I was there, but center line is a thing of the past now.
Yeah.
Weld butt center line.
Okay. Robert says 85 square body with the 350 tranny, shift into gear when first moves but jumps out, and when I shut the truck down and restart it, moves again. Tranny oil is above level also. Any suggestions?
Start it up, put it in gear, it hits, but then it pops out. Have you checked to make sure that all your bushings and everything in your column are tight, and the connection, the Z-bar connection off the frame onto the transmission?
Yeah.
I mean, they wear out. I mean, like I said, that truck is now 40 plus years old. Okay, so
You could be
all them years of changing it, just everything wallers out.
Yeah, basically what he's saying is you might be putting it in gear, but linkage wise, you might just be putting it in half gear.
Yeah,
And
it's popping
into neutral.
Yeah. And then when you first start it up, it revs up a little bit and it kind of slides it back in for just a second and pops it back out. Most generally with that sort of thing, it's the mechanical connection. It's not anything inside the transmission.
Yeah.
But I'm a firm believer in changing, filters and fluid out, because like if you drop the pan and you change the filter, it can't do nothing but help because you're replacing about 2/3 of the fluid out of it. Even if you use a little bit of the old stuff in there. But
and they say, so I don't know, I don't really trust the number that they use, but I understand the process. So like they say every 75,000 miles for heavy tow, and they say 100,000 for daily driving, or 150,000 for daily driving. I'm a firm believer that every 100,000, if you want to do a flush, do a flush. You know, but it's your car.
And like me, I'm not a big fan of flushes. I'm going to change that filter. Now, this has been my go-to for 40 years of buying cars. Okay. 50,000 miles, it gets a new, no matter what. I mean, I've had them try to talk me into flushes. No. 50,000 miles, you drop the pan, you put a new filter in, you change the fluid out, and I've never had a transmission go out on anything we're driving. Never had to have it serviced, never had to have nothing. You give it all that break-in stuff for 50,000 miles, change that filter, and then you're good to go. I mean, like I said, my truck's got 185,000 miles on it, never had a problem. My wife's car's got 150,000 miles, never had a problem. But everything we've ever owned over all these years, all the new ones, that was the process I did. And I've never had one in the transmission shop, ever. I mean, you know, so I mean, I just think once you get all the break-in stuff and all that graphite and everything out of it originally from it being brand new and it breaking in real good,
Yeah,
and then clutches and steels, you change that fluid out, you're good to go. But I've had them just try to talk me into a flush. No, I want that filter changed. I want that pan dropped.
So here's well, on that side of the house, yes, there's no replacement for dropping the pan, but there are a lot of vehicles now that is a sealed unit.
Yeah, and they don't even have.
They don't have pans. They don't have dipsticks. They don't have anything.
That's crazy to me.
You know, that is where the flush comes in. I'm with Dad with if it's got a pan, drop the pan.
Yeah.
Drop the pan, change the filter. You know, you're not going to get all of the fluid out, but you're going to get a majority of it. Now, if you want to double down, I have seen or done, customer requested us to, and I never thought of it. He requested the pan be dropped. He requested the pan drop, filter change, but he also wanted the flush machine hooked up with the pan off.
Oh,
Pump fluid out, pump fluid through, and let it drain through the pan. And I was like, that's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea.
Because it gets the rest of the fluid out.
That's in the converter, that's in the pump,
So,
in the drums. Yeah.
And then once you put the pan on, use the machine to surface it up.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, that's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea.
So there is a third option. But
if you're not dealing with high mileage.
You're right. Yeah, no, if you're just doing your you know, my number is 100,000 on a daily driver. Every 100,000, if you want to drop the pan, change fluid out, call it a day. That keeps your maintenance up on your transmission, keeps fresh fluid in it, gets all the old clutch material out, but it doesn't change the viscosity enough to where it'll start to affect the transmission.
Yeah.
Okay.
And don't forget your transfer case. You got a transfer case, it takes 2 quarts. I'm telling you, $20 worth of ATF is a lot cheaper than a whole transfer case.
Oh, by far.
When you do a training service, do a transfer.
You're just going to have to throw stuff at us when we start rolling.
Yeah.
Michael Pineda said those are the best wheels, but everyone is taxing for those wheels right now. Then Judy says, hi, Uncle Buck and Kenny and Presley.
Hi, Judy.
And she told me to get you some Kleenex.
Yeah.
And then Exit says 15 by 8 or 15 by 10 rims, white wagon wheels, or D window. 255s. It's a paragraph. You're gonna have to give me a minute.
Okay.
255, 65, 15 front, 275, 60, 15 rear, and you write 15-inch tires are way expensive. Like a 235, 75, 15 tire costs more than my 17-inch tires. And then Connor says, building my first SBC 350, what timing cover should I get? My block doesn't have one. Give me 1 second. Okay, the rest is from somebody else.
Small block Chevy, your timing cover. It didn't. Oh,
What
you need
timing cover should I get? My block doesn't have one.
just get if you want just to shine it up a little bit, just get you a Mr. Gasket chrome timing cover, or you can go to if you got anybody that's got any old stuff. I mean, I've got several of them in the
I was
garage.
gonna say it depends on like. This is kind of how I look at it, and Dad looks at it a little different than I do. Your motor is part of the artwork of the car. So how you want your motor to look, that's the direction you want to go. Whether you like Dad, he likes chrome. Me, I like seeing the black with the red lettering or the orange lettering. I like that kind of look. You know, but if you want a theme, go with that theme. If you want to stay classic, go with that.
Yeah.
Don't be mixing and matching and all that stuff.
Yeah, because like the new engine, it's got a chrome timing cover, it's got chrome valve covers, it's gonna have a chrome breather,
Yeah.
aluminum intake,
Yeah.
it's gonna be orange all the way through.
Yeah. Don't be like this is blue, that's red, and the other's yellow, and that's no.
Well, maybe they want a rainbow.
Be that as it
We
may.
listen and we don't judge, guys.
Anyways,
we judge.
all of that stuff is available like on Amazon for real cheap. I think you get a chrome timing cover for like $20, and it'll fit perfectly.
Yeah.
You won't have any problems, and it'll shine it'll shine. It'll shine behind a water pump. It'll show off. It'll sparkle.
Okay, so Ben's posted a few comments. He says, so build my own torque plate from 3/4 inch steel so a mag drill would hold firm. Used a Lisle
Lyle.
Sure. Hone with 80 grit stones, flooded with my homemade cutting fluid. I put the oil pan onto drain back to 5-gallon bucket with 2 gallons of WD-40 mixed with 1 gallon of hydraulic fluid. Managed to get a 460 over with 80 grit, no taper on dial bore gauge. What stone or method should I use for final home finish? Hyper pistons with molly rings. Used a diesel transfer pump to absolutely flood while I was cutting with 80 grit stones. And then Baller says 1,000% agree. Keep color coordination simple. No mixing chrome or just use chrome. You on track, Kin.
Yep. Just a regular. I think it's a 100 grit ball hone. The dingle ball hone, because you got the cylinders straight and you done use the dial bore gauge. If they're square, then all you gotta do is get the crosshatch for them. The molly rings, just zing, 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 zing on high on your drill and get your crosshatch. You're done. As long as you got your tolerance for your pistons.
Yep.
And then I would to make that even as best as you can, I would definitely file fit every single ring in that block to make sure your gaps are right. But no, if you've already got it to size, just use your dingle ball hone, and some gasoline or some WD-40. Zing, 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 zing. Get your crosshatch and you're finished.
10 strokes, check it. 10 strokes, check it.
Yep. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do the final honing on the big block Thursday, I think. Yeah, because the pistons came in. And then pistons on the rods, and then I've got to do the pour work on the heads for the big block, and then it's gonna get the whole schmear. It's gonna be decked, valves, guides, the whole 9 yards. Yep. It's gonna be really interesting. I got a lot of videoing to do, and I'm gonna be spending a lot of time in the machine shop next couple of weeks.
Baller says that you have a video on cross hatch, he believes.
You do?
Well, not really on crosshatch. I got a video on using the stone hone instead of the ball hone because them cylinders over time, they get a little wonky, and a stone hone will make it like he just did. Using using the bore gauge, it's straight. But if you was to just try to do that with which we did that in high school in auto tech with Randy, we did that on an engine. It turned out terrible because that ball hone is designed, it just kind of follows what it has, and if it's like this going up and down, once you ball hone it, it's still going to be like this once you go up and down. It just, that engine didn't last long, but it was a good learning experience. We had like nothing in it back in in the 80s. You could get a re-ring, re-bearing, and a gasket kit for like less than $100 in the 80s. I mean, everything back in my day, yeah. And that's what we thought what a rebuild was. It wasn't. We tried. We had every good intention to do everything right, but sometimes that stuff just doesn't work out.
Baller's really excited to see the machine shop videos.
Yep, they're coming. I got one more. Saturday will be the last video on the new engine build. And then the machine shop stuff is coming in right behind it. So in 2 weeks, a week from Saturday, will be the start of the machine shop stuff.
I think we'll just go ahead and do that junkyard thing. Now that I think about it.
Not a bad idea, is it? Having one ready to go. It'd save a bunch of time.
Would.
Yep.
I'll just take it to work and just dump rear main sealer down into the tube. It got it holds. And then when it finally nope, I'm done.
You know what you could do is you just go get you a case of Lucas oil treatment and thicken it up hey, listen, I had one. I bought a Camaro back in the day. It was a 79 model. I bought it for the paint job. It was beautiful, but it smoked. Every cylinder on it was roasted. And I ran that sucker for 6 months, but it was 3 quarts of Lucas and 2 quarts of oil. I mean, it was molasses inside that engine, but it didn't smoke until I burned through some of it, and it had 8 non-followers in it, and it was just a stock engine. But I mean, I was building an engine. I built one in the garage as I was driving that car, and then we all yanked it and put it in over the weekend.
Yeah.
And but that's the whole thing. You can, if you have it ready, you're not, it saves a bunch of time.
Yeah.
You can do what you want to it, and then once it's done, you just roll it in, get the floor dry out, and and zing, 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 and just go and just go at it, and just get one out and put it right back in. And the other thing about that is you don't forget stuff because you remember exactly where everything was. You're not taking it out and a month later trying to go back and go, where did I put this bolt? Where did I put that bolt? Where did I put this? It's all right there.
So, which is funny because we were, it was one of the short blocks I did. Because, building motors is a messy job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you make a mess. You
make a mess.
There's no getting around.
You're going to get dirty. The floor's going to get dirty. Everything's going to get dirty.
Yeah. So, I remember my bay, I had probably 3/4 of an inch of floor dry.
Yeah.
In this massive area. And one of the parts guys come out and he was like, "What, you trying to make a little Sahara over here? Because our floor dry is brown." And I'm like, "No, I'm building a short block." And they're like, "You don't need to get that messy." And I'm like, "Building engines is a messy job, dude. I don't know how else to do it."
Yeah.
Then you got the guy that's been a Kia tech for 20 years over there, and his bays are spotless. You can eat off the floor. It's so clean over there. I'm like, "How do you do it?" And he goes, "I don't know."
I wouldn't know how to act. I mean, I spent the whole afternoon just cleaning parts with the ultrasonic cleaner and stuff, and worked on Bam Bam stuff. And I'm getting, I got 3 weeks. 3 weeks I'm going out Saturday to finalize, see if we can get this thing posted and start advertising it for the vintage drags. Yep. If you guys want to check it out, I don't know if he has a website yet, but it's Will Says, WILLSEY 'S, Outlaw Drag Strip and Salsa, and you can look it up on Facebook.
Yep. Come out and support.
Yeah, come out and support. They're doing test and tune this weekend.
Yep.
I'm going to run out there Saturday. They open at noon on the off season and run until about dark, which is about 6:30 around here right now. Oh, I want to say, everybody up on the East Coast, I know you guys are getting hammered right now. Keep your head down, stay warm. You know, if you don't ain't got to get out, don't get out because I heard it's nasty up in there with y'all. So I'm just sending them good best wishes for you guys up there because I don't mean to twist the knife or nothing, but we're gonna have 70 degrees tomorrow and sunshine. I was running around in a t-shirt today, this afternoon. Work. I had the doors open and fresh air and had the radio going. It was nice. It's gonna be even nicer tomorrow. But you guys up in there are getting hammered right now, from what I understand. Just wishing you guys all safety and warmth.
Ben says it took like 3 hours per hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it. Yeah, it took us 3 days of 3 hours at the Votech too when we were in high school.
He used 12 sets of stones to keep it straight. Would have been easier and cheaper to send to a machine shop. I'm stubborn, and no shop wanted to take it 60 over.
Really? My big block is 60 over. Well, it's 57,000. It's over now, but it's about to be 60.
Well, you also have to think like different strokes for different folks. Like,
Well, okay, but all the guys that are in my machine shop are older guys. And
right?
they've done it.
No, you're not. Okay, so what I'm saying is like where he's at, they might not have a machine shop that's comfortable doing.
Right. I get that. I get that.
You
But
know?
I mean, my good engine in my first hot rod was 60 over. It was 60 over 327 block, a 0010 block, put a 350 crank in it, you know, and 350 innards. And it was 60 over and never got hot once in 9 years. And I rotted I was a teenager. I drove the hell out of that car and never had a problem, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, if they're not comfortable, I get it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I'm learning a lot just by sitting and watching at the machine shop. I didn't realize how much time it took. You know, when you're a yonker, you just drop it off and they say come back and get it in a week, and come back and everything's sitting done with the gasket set sitting on top of it, ready to go. You know, you don't realize that the decking took 3 hours and the boring took 30 minutes a hole, and the honing is what takes the most amount of time, and make sure it's mic'd for each piston and marking the pistons, then doing, it's a lot more time consuming than I ever thought it was, because I never been able to be just to sit as a bystander and watch. It's been really interesting. I think you guys are going to really like and everybody explains everything. All the guys in the shop explain the process, and that people just don't understand. All us old timers, they walk in, they want a head done for $100 whenever $100 ain't even get close to it, and they walk back out. They try to go to a different place and they're going to get charged twice as much, because Santana at B&A, she purposely tries to be cheaper than the next guy that's closest to. We got 2 machine shops now in the area, and she purposely undercharges what he does, and people still think it's too much. They just don't understand the amount of time.
Well, I saw a great post from an old shop owner, and it's pay me for my experience, not my labor. I'd rather go to a shop. I would rather pay more at a shop that's got a combined of like 200 years of experience versus paying less than for a shop that's got 5 years of experience,
Yeah.
Because and me trying to do my own thing, like I'm gonna get the same answer, like you've only got 4 years of experience. Like, why would I pay you X amount of dollars? So it's a toss up, but I'd rather go to a machine shop that's got 200 years of experience versus.
Yeah, because like the guy that's helped me with board and everything, he's 35 years in.
Yeah.
And Santana's years in, and the other guys there years in. They're
Dickies.
Yeah, they're all from all the other machine shops that used to be open in the area.
Yep.
That have all closed up, and Yeah, and he went place to places. As they closed down, he moved the next place. And that one closed down, he moved the next place. And he knows everybody, you know. And Steve he's top notch. Steve is top notch at B&A, and so is Santana. She really knows her business too. You wouldn't think, and you know that's okay. I'm gonna throw this out there, okay? There, and Steve verified this with Santana. There are people that'll walk in that shop and turn around and walk out because she's a woman. Because they think there's no way she can know what she's doing. You know, why would I put my parts in with this person? You know, which is completely stupid. You know, she knows more about that business than I'll ever know. And Steve, and with Steve, same way. And it doesn't make sense to me. It never has. It never will. You know, just that male macho. A woman can't do it or can't bullshit. I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, I'm not going to, and I'm glad that she's younger than I am because I get to spend time with her and getting my stuff done by somebody I trust until the day I can't do it no more. Yeah. You know, but I will never understand needing to take your stuff in and get it work done and just walking out because there's a gal that owns the place. It doesn't make any sense. It never will. It is because I have 4 older sisters and I'm the baby, you know, it just, you know.
Or we don't see it like that.
You know. Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe I couldn't believe that I didn't believe her when she told me, but then Steve backed up and said, yeah, it happens all the time. And she answered.
Taylor Gang says, what are your thoughts on using drop-in beehive springs for the 993 heads?
Okay. Do you get 6 one and a half dozen other? You're either going to pay. You're talking about on the 993 Vortex heads. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 6 one and a half dozen other. They still won't handle a lot of lift. You know, the Vortex, they're only good for about 450 lift. And then, but you got to just machine the pockets to get them where they have enough stroke before they start fouling on the guides. It's, you know, you're going to pay for the springs, you're going to pay for the machining, one or the other. I mean, it's, you know, but I mean, the Beehive one, the technology, it's great, but I mean, you're still going to pay for it.
Yeah. You're still gonna have to research and invest and,
yeah,
you know, get a matching setup to get the best benefit out of them. It's just like anything else.
Yeah. No, I ain't got no problem with them. If that's the way you want to go. I've never heard anything bad about them.
No. I heard they're a little bit longer to break in than stock springs, but I mean there's different springs, so
yeah.
Ben says it's a 1511 400 block. I think they are chickens. I bought an Amazon thickness tester. It's fine. I'm gonna keep it below 6,000 RPM. It's going in a K5.
Yeah, there's no issues. Like I said, my first one I ran it for 9 years. I beat on it for 9 years, and it was solid 60 over. You know, and if it's got good machine work on it, there's no reason why it shouldn't, because it had already been punched 30 when I got it. I had no other choice. You know, I mean, the one that's out there on the stand right now is a 40. You know, I mean, because that's the pistons that I had. I did a bunch of trading around, and I had them in the box for a long time, and it cleaned up at 40. So I mean, but like I said, the big block's going 60. You know, and you'll see the video. You know, I got in good and close when the cutter was going in and cutting from 30 to 57 thousandths. It's not a lot of material. It's 3 sheets of paper. You know, people, they talk about how it's 60 thousandths. It's this huge number, but it's not. It's not a lot of material.
Thousandths
of an inch. Yeah, 10 thousandths of an inch. Yeah, but that's an experience.
Yeah,
I would say that's an experience for a machine shop. You know,
well, cutting anything period is an experience. Like I've been cutting rotors for.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as cutting rotors. They say once you go below a certain thickness, they're like you're gonna blow out a caliper. It's like I've cut them thin. Before in my life, and like there's I'm like, listen, I'll cut it, but this will be the last time they get cut, kind of thing. But I'll cut them good and I'll level them out. I don't care.
Yeah.
But when it's my thing is everything has a parameter, right?
Yeah,
that
if you're daily driving it, and if you like I said, he said under a certain RPM range, and it's going in a it's going in a 4x4.
Yeah,
and if it's got a good radio, you ain't got no problems.
Right, like because I don't have a whole lot. I want to learn, and I want to physically learn how to machine.
Oh,
I want to do that. I want to learn how to do that so I can do that on my own.
Well, you ever get canned, I'm pretty sure Santana would hire you.
Yeah. Well, my thing is like the thing that I know the most is cutting rotors. Like everything's got a parameter. Like once you walk into a block that's got 60 over, you gotta sleeve it. If you need to put more metal in it, you put more metal in it, you sleeve it, call it a day, whatever. But for like rotors, my thing is I have a parameter. If I start under that parameter or the discard thickness, if I start under that, I ain't turning. But if I'm over it and when I finish cutting, I'm either close or under discard or I have to be under discard, I'll still cut it. So it's all what they're willing to do or what they know they can get away with. And that is experience of doing it.
Taylor says it's a smog era 993s. And Ben says he has a smart wife and 4 daughters. Don't count ladies out ever.
That's right.
Never
count them ladies. I mean, they beat it.
Wars have been fought over women.
Yeah.
Whole countries have gone to war over one woman.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think any of you guys have any problems with any of that. Yeah. I know I didn't.
If you do have a problem with it, this is not the place for you. Not the place for you. We are family owned and operated, baby.
I meant to say Santana did start her own YouTube channel. She has a video out. Look up Santana Martin, and she actually has a video out. They were working on, I think it's some kind of overhead cam heads. They're doing guides in heads, but I mean it's a neat little video, and she does pretty good. She said she did everything on her phone, edited all on her phones, and with soundtrack and the whole 9 yards. You guys check it out, Santana Martin on YouTube. And I don't know if she's made another video yet, but I mean, the first one was kind of cool.
Yep, and then see, that's right up my alley. I'll watch that all day long. I like watching machine work.
Yeah.
What
is the name of that Australian guy that you watch that does
Cutting
all the
Edge
big
Engineering?
Cutting Edge Engineering. That's an interesting show. He does big equipment stuff. I mean, hydraulic cylinders and things like that, and fixing buckets and blades and all kinds of for like dozers and things like that. And they're long, but I mean, you're not bored watching it. That's good videos.
I was, when I was in the Navy, I'd mess around because I was a hydraulic.
Oh yeah.
I was a hydraulic tech and a structure guy. So they never let us. I would say I was a maintainer, but it's essentially what I was. I wasn't a maintainer, but it's essentially what I was. Is they have 3 levels of maintenance, and O level is basically the parts changers. But you go up a level to I level, and they take those parts and they tear them down and they fix them. So I would get bored. Every once in a while, I have a lazy day, and I'd go over to I level, especially on the boat because we live right next door to each other. I'd go over there and I'd go build cylinders. I'd learn how to build them.
Yeah.
Because that kind of stuff. If I don't know about it, I want to learn about it. You know, if it's a mechanical thing, and that was kind of cool learning about sleeves and pistons and all that good stuff.
Yeah. But even I like that stuff. I mean, that guy from Australia, he makes damn good videos. You need to check it out. You go enjoy it.
Yep. You like machine work. Yep. He's got a bunch of cool tools too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
He just bought a $500,000 monster lathe, and I'm like, oh. I had to get a whole crew to come out and unload it.
Well, the one tool I miss from working steel as long as I did was the mag drills. The mag base drills, the electrical mag base drills. I mean, those are slick. Those are handy.
Cut through.
Yeah, cut through anything and just hold it up there and reach underneath it, hit the mag button, boom, drilling holes and stuff sideways, upside down, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, it was great. I like messing with the mag drills. They were cool.
That's the one thing I never really liked about being in the Navy was the hand tools.
Really?
They're all snap-on. They're all snap-on.
Yeah, but that's what you have now.
No, I have Mecca.
But you have a snap-on box.
I have a snap-on box, yes.
Sacrilege.
I have Matco tools because I've used snap-on tools and I have broke, sheared.
Yeah.
I have gutted out ratchets and it's.
Yeah.
And yes, they come with a lifetime warranty, but what's good of a tool if you keep breaking them?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
My Matco tools, I have yet to feel a tooth skip, you know?
Ben says 60,000 is only 30 on each side. I agree. People freak out for no reason.
Yep.
I would make this bigger based on the sonic test.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's using ultrasound to detect the depth of the thickness of what's left of the cylinder walls.
Oh.
Yep.
See, me, I want to push the limits of it.
See,
I want to go 70.
And Steve from the machine shop asked me if I wanted to go 125. Said from that big block, you can go 125 and never have a problem. 125 thousandths over. That's a quarter of an inch. You know, he said, yeah, big block's got lots of meat in them. You can go. I said, I've done 150 and never had a problem. He said, but I said, no. I said, no. Here's my thinking of just going to 60, because if I build it and I run it for several years, I can always tear it down and have it turned 80, and then run it another couple of years to do whatever, and then tear it back down and put it up to 100. And then, so I got 3 more builds out of that block, the way I look at it. Well, you know, why go already punch it over just for the horsepower, you know, just put a bigger slug in it when you don't need to, you know? See, that's my thinking, because big blocks getting hard to find these days. I mean, I got lucky. I really did. You know, I got a little stash of them, but I mean, they're hard to get to anymore. Yeah. You know, I mean, even LSs are starting to get hard. You know that our picky part is not automatically inking them anymore. That's why I say we need to go down there and get one before it gets hot, before the snakes and bugs start coming out, because they're not pulling them anymore. They're not they're on the floor waiting where you can just pull up and pay $300 and have them loaded on the back of the truck. You got to go out there and get it yourself now, because they're just not as popular as they used to be because of the LT4s and stuff that came out.
Let me pay off our 883 and we'll go.
Yeah.
Our motorcycle's getting paid off.
Yeah. This
year. I am sick of paying for that thing. I need title in hand.
Any other questions, guys? What time is it?
Almost 10 after.
Oh, okay.
I have a question I want you guys to mend on and think about
for next week.
All right. There's something that we do, but we don't ever think about until we're physically doing it. Oil clearance. What is your go-to number for oil clearance?
Come on, in bearings?
Right.
No more than 3,000.
You say that, but I've heard of guys going 8, 6.
Okay.
But we're also talking different motors.
I know, but you know the theory behind that, though.
Right. Yes.
Okay, so tell me what you think the theory behind that is.
The theory is the gaps for a lubrication.
Okay, now, if you have too tight of a tolerance,
right,
in the bearings, between the bearing and the crank. That oil won't escape out the sides and it'll boil. And that's where bearings get messed up.
Right.
Okay. If you have too much, that connecting rod is bouncing on that deal because it's coming up, it's going down, right?
Right.
So you got to find that sweet spot, which I've always been told is 3,000ths is the ceiling when it comes to keeping your oil pressure, being able for the oil to go into the bearing and squish out the sides, and that dissipates heat.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You go any more than that, it's just thrown out there and it's not lubricating, and then you have that whole problem of the rod bounce around on the crank.
Right.
You need a sweet spot. That cushion holds it just enough where the crank is not touching the bearing, but it has enough space for the oil to escape out the sides, so that it doesn't boil it and catch them bearings and spin bearings and shit. So it's always been, everything I've ever read or ever been taught, it's been your ceiling is between 1.5 and 3,000ths. That's your window. 3,000ths is about as good as you're going to go. You're still going to have oil pressure. It's still going to flow and protect the bearings, but you're not going to have the possibility of it bouncing around on the crank.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, so per GM, an LM7 clearance is just over 3.5 thousands. But again, you can always make that tighter. You can always make that looser, but you don't want to make it too loose.
Right.
So because we are going to get into that LS build, and we are going to,
and I'm sure it has its own tolerances.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, because I pulled up, details and specs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get a block and then, just throw the outside. I want to measure the bearings, measure the rods, measure the crank. Like, I want to get in depth with the build, right? But every forum everybody that I've asked that's ever built an engine, they're like they're the 3,000ths is your max. You don't want to go anything over that. Anything over 3,000ths, you're messing around with too much play, and it's gonna rattle around, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you got GM, their spec for the motor is 3.5.
But that's also for an LS or LT or whatever it is, right?
Right.
For the new versions.
Right. So my thinking is I want to mix a blend of new technology with old school durability. So you said your range is 1,000ths,
1.5 thousand,
1.5 to 3.
Right. That's the window.
What's your sweet spot that you found?
2.5 to 3,000ths.
You know what I'm saying?
Because like the engine out there, once I had the cranky and I could spin it by hand. I just grab a hold of the snout and just spin it by hand. It's just smooth as glass.
Right. And so some guys are like, I like to.
Yeah.
Some guys are.
Everybody has their own sweet spot.
That's what I'm asking.
Just mine over 40 years has been 1.5 to 3,000.
Right.
Using plastic gauge.
So Baller says, so minimum is 10,000ths and max is 30 is what I'm hearing on crank and bearings.
No, 3,000. Yeah.
And 1.5 to 3.
Yeah, 1.5 to 3,000.
There's about, what is that? 1.5 thou.
That's
play.
about a sheet of paper.
Yeah, but we're talking.
But I'm not talking about miking. I'm talking about using plastic gauge.
Right. Well, you can use a mic and you can do the math, and you get your number. Right.
Because I don't have a set of mics. I mean, I'm sure if I talked to Santana about doing it in their clean room at the machine shop, putting that big block together, we could probably get it mic'd and everything because they have all that equipment.
I have a mic.
But you know what I'm saying? I mean,
right. Yeah. No, I get you.
Because back in our day, like I said, you got a re-ring kit, a bearing kit, and a gasket set for $100. It came with plastic gauge.
Right.
And that, and it came with this is what you're going to do for a small block Chevy.
Right.
And it was 1,500, 3,000. So anything more, you had to get different. You had to do something with the bearings, but we never had to, because this is like 1984,
Right.
and the engines were from the 70s, so they're less than 10 years old.
Right.
They're built really tight with the rings and everything. They skull the hell out of the cylinders.
Yep.
You ball hone it, you put it back together again, and you're rearing it, bearing, you're rebuilt.
Yeah.
And you check your clearances with the plastic gauge. That's the way we were taught.
Yeah.
And we never had a problem.
Yeah, plastic gauge is essentially miking it, but for dummies.
Yeah.
No offense.
No, none taken.
But I mean, it's miking for dummies.
Yeah.
It's the easiest, simplest way to find out what your clearance is.
Yeah. And
without having to physically have a set of mics, mic it, measure the crank, measure the piston,
measure the bearings
measure
inside
the bearings
the saddles
and the mains
Yeah.
and all that, and you check all your,
They take it all back apart again, put it back down. Yeah.
It's a bore gauge and all that. It's checking all that, your squish and everything. Like, it's without having to do all that. A plastic gauge makes it so simple. Gotcha. But I want that experience.
Yeah.
I want to.
He was pissed at me for putting that engine together without him being around.
I was.
He wanted to get elbow deep in it, but I mean he works a lot of hours, and I had a weekend off and he had to work, and I just did it. But I won't do it again.
What a piece of shit.
I won't do it again. I mean, I think if I bring the big block home to build it, I want to just.
Plus, he's got to have somebody to hold the block down so he can torque the mains.
No, you just wrap your leg around that, and you lock all the wheels down, and you just keep playing Ring Around Rosie as you're popping it in. Yeah.
I've learned.
Ben says, "Do you have any experience with an old Rodeck aluminum block?"
No.
I had a buddy that had an old road deck once, but it sat for so long and then okay, so it sat and it flash rusted, and it got to the point to where he was like, "I'm never going to use this," and he got rid of it. That's been my experience with him.
Never had anything to do with them.
I think I'm gonna do the two.
I'm just curious. Did they have sleeves in it? I guess it had to have sleeves in it. There's no way you can do an aluminum without having sleeves in it. Yeah. But nope, never even had my hand. Never even seen an aluminum block. Like a regular V8 configuration. Never seen an aluminum block. I mean, it would be cool, but I think back. I watched Ford versus Ferrari a couple weeks ago, and when they come out with that 429, 427 aluminum block for this is in the 60s, that Ford came up with an aluminum big block to cut down weight for the GT40s.
Yeah.
For the Le Mans.
Yep.
And it's funny to me, that movie is kind of interesting to me because, that's that whole reading between the rule book, What's up, buddy? Okay, we'll get in there and get in there and get him and take him to Nana.
Yeah, it's pretty late, bud.
Okay, boys are getting restless.
Baller says, "Thanks for the live tonight."
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Yep.
No problem. And this should be number 45. We're closing in on a year's worth.
Mm-hmm.
By this summer, by I think May, we'll be in a full year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do something special for a year.
Kick you off the live. This is our live now.
You know what you guys need to do? Okay, Miss Presley is sitting right here outside. She's usually over in the corner, but she's sitting right here in the chair next to the live. She didn't want to be on camera. You got to convince her to get on camera.
No.
She's going to be on camera.
I'm better behind the camera. It's fine. I accepted my fate long ago.
Anyways, okay, so it's getting late and the boys are getting restless and everybody has to work tomorrow, including this one. So we appreciate all you guys. Remember, support the channel, use the links below.
Share the content.
Yeah, and tell everybody about it. And just, we don't have any plans on stopping this anytime soon. And the videos from the machine shop will be coming in a couple of weeks, and they'll have a whole series of those. And we also going to
Buy your
be doing stuff from the drag strip. I mean, hopefully, if everything works out and we get that sponsorship going and the class up and running, there'll be content coming from that too. And I'm sure Miss Presley will be around for that one. She likes the races.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch. We're gonna have to find someone to watch John. John doesn't like loud noises, but YY loves.
Yeah, because right now Bamlem ain't got no exhaust on it. It's got headers but no exhaust. Yeah, I turn it on and John kind of like, it's loud, but the little one, Wyatt, he comes running. He comes running. He wants to get in the truck, play with the steering wheel as it's running. Dump the dump the dump the dump the dump. He's in. He's going to be the little hot rodder of the bunch. Yep, he's going to be a little harder. But we appreciate all you guys. We look forward to this all week long. Come see us next week. Tell your friends to tune in, and we'll see you next week. You guys have a good, yeah. But again, you guys up on the east, northeast coast, you guys be careful. Stay safe. All right. Peace.
May 1st, 2025 was your first live.
Yep.